Hello, church. So here is our devotional for Monday, January 26th. We hope you are getting safely dug out after a pretty darn significant snowfall. The inner delight of my heart last night was seeing my son on the church's Ford tractor plowing the driveway. So that was fun. He was doing the upper part so he could get out early this morning, and he did have probably more fun than he should have been having. Not that he put the equipment in any danger, but he had a big smile on his young face. Yeah. Um, so we have concluded our work in Psalms. I had mentioned last week that when we finished up, that I wanted to try to establish a playlist so it's a little more easily accessible. I pretty much have to go through all the videos now when I'm trying to find something on the YouTube page. So yeah, that needs a little adjustment. But on a good note, this has become a part of my daily practice, and so I found myself after a Zoom meeting this morning just being like, I want to do a video. So this is we are going to be stepping into Proverbs. I really like Eugene Peterson's introduction. So we'll be sharing that as our main source of commentary. I haven't found a specific commentary on Proverbs that I really like yet, but I'm probably going to be ordering one that's also in that interpretation series, which I used. And hopefully that might be a good resource. But in the meantime, Peterson had some really good pieces in there, which I'm delighted to share with you. Let me start with Peterson for today, and then I'll let you hear the NRSV. So here's his introduction in the message. Many people think that what's written in the Bible has mostly to do with getting people into heaven, getting right with God, saving their eternal souls. It does have to do with that, of course, but not mostly. It is equally concerned with living on this earth, living well, living in robust sanity. In our scriptures, heaven is not the primary concern, to which earth is a tag along afterthought. On earth as it is in heaven is Jesus' prayer. Wisdom is the biblical term for this on earth as it is in heaven, everyday living. Wisdom is the art of living skillfully in whatever actual conditions we find ourselves. It has virtually nothing to do with information as such, with knowledge as such. A college degree is no certification of wisdom, nor is it primarily concerned with keeping us out of moral mud puddles, although it does have a profound moral effect upon us. Wisdom has to do with becoming skillful in honoring our parents and raising our children, handling our money and conducting our sexual lives, going to work and exercising leadership, using words well and treating friends kindly, eating and drinking healthily, cultivating emotions within ourselves and attitudes towards others that make for peace. Threaded through all these items is the insistence that the way we think of and respond to God is the most practical thing we do. In matters of everyday practicality, nothing, absolutely nothing, takes precedence over God. Proverbs concentrates on these concerns more than any other book in the Bible. Attention to the here and now is everywhere present in the stories and legislation, the prayers and the sermons that are spread over the thousands of pages of the Bible. Proverbs distills it all into riveting images and aphorisms that keep us connected in holy obedience to the ordinary, seeking the sacred in our everyday lives. And some really good pieces from Peterson. Now I'm going to flip back and forth. So let me get the NRSV in your ears. And this is going to be the first portion of Proverbs 1. They're broken out into fairly distinguishable sections. And this one is our prologue. The Proverbs of Solomon, son of David, king of Israel. For learning about wisdom and instruction, for understanding words of insight, for gaining instruction in wise dealing, righteousness, justice, and equity, to teach shrewdness to the simple, knowledge and prudence to the young. Let the wise also hear and gain in learning, and the discerning acquire skill, to understand a proverb and a figure, the words of the wise and their riddles. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Fools despise wisdom and instruction. So largely, in the midst of talking as a prologue about why the proverb is important, it establishes the lesson of the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. The respect and reverence for God is the beginning of wisdom. And here's some Peterson for you. He entitles this part, rather than prologue, as in the NRSV, a manual for living, which is pretty darn good. These are the wise sayings of Solomon, David's son, Israel's king, written down so we'll know how to live well and right, to understand what life means and where it's going. A manual for living, for learning what's right and just and fair, to teach the inexperienced the ropes and give our young people a grasp on reality. There's something here also for seasoned men and women, still a thing or two for the experienced to learn, fresh wisdom to probe and penetrate, the rhymes and reason of wise men and women. Now, there's a little break here with Peterson because that portion I finished didn't complete the reading like we would see it in our NRSV. So this will be our starting point with him tomorrow. But he also has the instruction, start with God. Start with God. The first step in learning is bowing down to God. Only fools thumb their noses at such wisdom and learning. You'll hear why there was a little difference in break. A part of it's just the style that we're going to be encountering, but it also sets up the next section for Peterson in the message well. So that's our beginning to Proverbs. We'll look forward to being back with you in these words of wisdom. I haven't done intensive study on Proverbs before. So I am looking forward to this portion for our daily devotional times. The one I probably quote most significantly is actually the last, Proverbs 31. And that gets used occasionally at funeral services that I'm doing, and especially if they are for women who have been mothers who did a lot of quilting and working with their hands. And just some really good words from Proverbs 31 on that, starting at 10 and going through the end of the chapter, also verse 31. So we'll be back with you tomorrow. Have a great day. Happy shoveling. If you are doing that, get some time for some play and some warmth in there too. And we'll see you later. Have a great day.